Hello everyone, my name is Iska Zakiatul Nur and I am from Information System Study program at BS University Cengkareng, class 19.2C.25. Today I will explaining topic about software, operation system, and malicious program. Let's talk what the definition of operation system. So basically, the operation system is like the very first piece of software that gets loaded into your computers. Memory when you turn it on, during the whole booting process. After that, all your other programs and apps can run. And the operation system is the one that provides all the essential service that those programs need to work. Think of the operation system as the computer's main manager. It has a really smart system for scheduling and keeping track of everything. How much memory is being used, how data is being processed, where files are stored, and all the other resources. You're probably familiar with some of those modern operation systems like Linux, Android, iOS, Mac OS X, and Microsoft Windows. Okay, so what does the operation system actually do? Well, a few important things. Number one, computer resource management. Think of it as the traffic cop for your computer resource. It decides who get to use what, like when an app can run, how the CPU is shared between different programs, and who get access to the disk drive. And number two, serves as the basic application of a device. The operation system is the fundamental thing that all other software is built on. It's the vital part that handles all the behind-the-scenes stuff to make your device functional. And for number three is connecting hardware. The operation system makes sure all the different hardware bits and pieces on your device, like the internal storage, mouse, speakers, and the CPU, can all talk to each other at the same time. Number four, optimizing the function of the device. Here, the operation system is like a translator or a bridge that connect the physical hardware with the software you use. This then allows your computer to do its basic tasks. The operation system tries to get the best performance out of both your hardware and software. It manages how they interact and work together to make everything run smoothly. And for number five, setting the device working system. The operation system controls all the hardware function you use, like the CPU, hardware, memory, and so on. It makes sure everything works together in harmony to maximize what your device can do. Alright, let's talk about the different kinds of operation system you find on computers. The first, regular standalone operation system. These are the ones you're probably most familiar with. They're like the full package with all the bells and whistles and can handle one person or a whole bunch of people using the computers. Windows, Linux, and Mac operation system are your classic example. Number two, live CD or DVD operation system. These are neat. You just pop in a CD or DVD and the operating system runs without needing to install anything permanently. They are usually pretty light and fast, but they might not have all the features of regular operating system. Think of things like Knoppix, CentOS, Linux Mint, or even those like Expedix. Number three is built embedded OS. These operating systems are baked right into the computer hardware. They are not meant to be used on their own and are designed for very specific job. You will find this in things like Ecos, Linux, Java OS, and version of Linux made for specific hardware. Number four, Network OS. These are special operation systems built to manage computer networks. They handle things like website or HTTP, domain names or DNS, sharing printers, acting as middleman for internet traffic or proxy server, and lots more network stuff. Examples include Red Hat, Cat OS, server, and Cloud Linux. So in our daily life, there are 5 main operation systems that are super common and you see everywhere. Basically, the more people use an OS, the more it's stuck around. This operating system or OS are what power different devices like our phones, tablets, and computers. The first one is Windows. Because of Windows is a big one, it can preload on most new computers. It's been around since the 18th with lots of version update like Windows 95, Vista 7, 8, and 10, and so on. Because of constantly update it to make it easier and better to use. And number 2, Apple Mac OS. macOS is only for Apple computers. It is known for being fast, having a simple desktop design, and being pretty secure against virus and malware. The downside is that some people find it less user-friendly compared to Windows and Linux. For number 3 is Linux. Linux is another popular choice. The main reason it's really customizable. You can tweak it a lot to fit your needs. This is a major advantage. However, you usually need to be a bit tech-savvy to really customize it. Also, installing Linux can be a bit more complicated than Windows. Number 4 is Apple iOS. iOS is Apple's mobile operating system. It powers iPhone and iPod Touch. Is the second most popular mobile OS after Android. And number 5, the last, Google Android. Google Android is the OS you will find. Google Android is the operating system you will find on most Android smartphone and tablets. It's based on Linux and was officially released in 2007. Okay, let's talk about malicious software. We usually just call it malware. It basically any software that designed to be a pain and cause trouble. Cyber bad guys or hackers create to try and steal your data and totally mess up or even break your computer and their system. You have got your classic example of malware like virus, worm, Trojan horse, spyware, adware, and ransomware. And get this, some of the latest malware attacks have been stealing serious huge amounts of data. What malware actually does is develop as dangerous software that goes after your computer network to either mess them up or steal stuff. The main aim are to create chaos and grab information or resources, usually for financial gain or just to cause damage. For example, they might try to number 1, intelligence and intrusion. Steal your data like emails, plans, and especially those crucial passwords. Number 2, harassment and extortion. Look down your networks or PC so they are unaccessible. If they are holding your computer for ransom money, that's ransomware. Number 3, damage or vandalism. Destroy computer system to harm your network infrastructure. Number 4, stealing computer resources. Use your computer power to run botnets, crypto mining programs, or crypto jacking, or send out spam. And number 5, monetary advance. For example, sell your organization intellectual property on the dark web. So, how do you actually keep your network safe from malware? A lot of business focus on trying to stop it from even getting in, by securing the edge of their network. They think if the perimeter is strong, they're good, but the truth is some really sneaky malware will eventually find its way in. That's why it's super important to have systems in place that consistently watch for and spot any malware that's managed to get past those initial events. Really good malware protection needs multiple layers of security, along with being able to see what's happening on your network and having smart tools to analyze it. Okay, so how do we actually find and deal with malware once it's inside? You have to assume that malware you'll eventually get past your defense. That's why you need security tools that give you clear visibility into your network and can detect when something bad has happened. To remove malware effectively, you need to quick figure out who the attacker is. This requires constant network scanning. Once you've identified the threat, you need to get rid of the malware from your network. Standard antivirus products just aren't enough to protect you from sophisticated cyber attacks these days. Okay, let's talk about 7 different kinds of malware you should know. Number 1 is virus. These are like little bits of bad code that hit right on your normal documents or files that use special scripting methods. When you open that infected thing, the virus runs and can jump to the other computers. Once in, it just chills until you open the file. Then it starts messing with your system and can cause you to lose your stuff. Number 2, worms. These are like super speedy viruses that can copy themselves and spread all over a network without needing you to do anything special. They can get into your device to download or just being connected to networks and then they multiply and spread like crazy. Just like virus, they can really screw things up and make you lose data. Number 3, Trojans. These are sneaky because they pretend to be helpful programs. But once you download them, they can give bad guys access to your private info. And they can even change, block, or delete it. They can really slow down your computer. Unlike regular virus and worms, they don't make copies of themselves. Number 4, spyware. This is bad software that secretly runs on your computer and sends reports back to some hacker. It not only messes with how your computer works, but also goes after your personal info and can even let bad guys control your computer remotely. It's often used to steal your money, info, or private stuff. A keylogger is a type of spyware that records everything you type to steal your password and personal details. And number 5, adware. This is software that tracks what you do on your computer and then show your ads based on that. While not always super dangerous, it can sometimes cause problems, like taking you to unsafe website or having trojans and spyware hidden in. Also, a lot of adware can really slow down your computer. Since not all adware is bad, you need protection that's always looking for it and knows what's what. Number 6, ransomware. This is really nasty stuff. It gets into your system, looks up your important files so you can get to them, and then demands you pay money to get them back. It often comes from clicking on a bad link in an email, phishing. The hackers then encrypt your files with a special key that only they have. If you pay them, they are supposed to give you the key or unlock your stuff. And last, number 7 is fileless malware. This is a newer type of bad stuff that lives in your computer's memory instead of hiding in files on your hard drive. Because there are no files to scan, it's harder to find that regular malware. It also makes it harder to figure it out what happens after an attack because it disappears when you restart your computer. Back in 2017, some small folks found an example of this called DNS Messenger. And what are the advantages of having advanced malware protection? Basically, advanced malware can be your run-of-the-mill malware that's been modified to be more infectious. It can also be designed to test the safe sandbox area that are meant to block harmful files, and it tries to fool your security software into thinking it's harmless. Advanced malware protection software is specifically designed to prevent these kinds of threats from getting in, detect them if they do, and help you eventually remove them from your computer system. And that's all from my presentation. Thank you for your attention.